In this video, I'm going to cover a topic provided to me from a subscriber. He likes to work with his toolpaths on the left side of the screen in Vectric. And he noticed that whenever he would put his toolpaths over on the left side, exit the program, come back in, the toolpaths would all go back to the normal default values. After he found out how to do it, he suggested that I make a video on how you can make sure you can arrange your toolpaths, first, the way you want it, right side or left side, and two, once you've arranged your toolpaths, how you can keep them so that they stay there every time you open up the software and not have to fiddle or move them around when you get started. So that's what we're going to cover in today's lesson. With that, let's get started. The first step is to reach over, put your mouse over the title. First, make sure it's locked or pinned, as they say, and then put your mouse over the title. And after you got your mouse over your title, left click and then slowly bring it over to the other side. And then when you get close, pretty soon you'll see it lock in right there. Once you do that, you can see that you have the Toolpaths toolbar on this side. And that pretty much answered his question about how do you move it from one side to another. Now, I'm going to cover some more things with the design, sheets, layers, and other tabs in just a second. But the second part of his question was, how do you keep it so that it always stays there and you don't have to try to reset it or mess with it each time? So that's the other thing he thought needed covered, so let's do that right now. Right now, if I quit or exit the vCarve Pro window at this time, what will happen is when I come back, everything will go back to normal. Let me show you. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to exit this file. I'm not going to bother to keep them. And now when I come back into vCarve Pro again, you can see the tabs are back to where they normally go for default, with the toolpaths on the right and the design and other tabs on the left. So let's talk about how we can make it so that it doesn't happen that way, so that when you come back in, the tabs are exactly where you want them. The magic occurs to ensure that toolpaths stay where you want by using the following method. First, we're going to go to the edit menu right up here in the corner. And then once we've got the edit menu selected, we want to go down to options. We're going to go to save tab layout. Let me move this over here. I'm going to put a little direction here. We're going to go to save tab layout. And then we're going to select yes. And once we've done that and hit OK, then any changes that we actually make to the tab layout will be there when we exit the program and come back in. Let me demonstrate. So here we're moving the toolpath tab, grabbing it, holding the left mouse button, moving it over slowly. Just saw it lock in with the frame. And now it's over on the left side. Now, when I exit the program, after changing that to yes, I'll hit File, like I did before, Exit, like I did before. I don't want to save changes, like I did before. Now I'm out. Now I'll go back into the program. And when I come back into the program, you can see my toolpaths are just where I left. So that answers the second part of the question. So let's do a quick review. In summary, if we wanted the toolpaths to stay where we put them, then we need to use the edit menu up in the top left here, go to the options section, and then hit save tab layout and select yes. If we want them to go back to their default values, then what we do is we change this from yes to no. By changing that to yes or no will impact what happens when we leave vCarve or Aspire and then come back in. If you ever get stuck after rearranging your tabs and just can't get them right again, the quickest way to alter that or fix that is to come back up to this edit menu, go to options, and then select save tab layout, change that from yes to no. And if you do that, then what will happen is everything will go back to its default value after you exit the program and then come back in. And that's whether you saved your work, didn't save your work. Once you exit the program and you restart vCarve or Aspire, your tabs will go back to their normal reset values. The video up to this point has covered what the subscriber suggested I make a video on. But since we're already into the tabs section, I figured it would be good to show some other options and things you can do with tabs. So that's what the remainder of the video will discuss. Things like moving the tabs around, making them free floating, etc. If you're enjoying what you're seeing, please take a minute and give me a thumbs up, a like, a comment, a share. And if you like the material you're getting, you should take a minute real quick while you're thinking about it to subscribe to the channel so you get future videos as I release them when I cover tips in Vectric software, Lightburn software, Fusion 360, or just in general woodworking projects. With that, let's go ahead and get started into working with other things you can do with tabs. Let's take a look at rearranging the tabs over here on the side. If you want to rearrange the tabs on the side, it can be easily done by grabbing a tab. Like right now, it says design is on top. And so if I want design to go down, let's say, to just above components, I can bring it down there. I can then switch between tabs just like I could before. If I want clip art up here for some reason, I could do that. If I want design up on top, I can just move it up there. So I can move these tabs around however I want. If I don't want these all showing all the time, I can unpin it and you can see they hide until I come over the tab on the left side and click on it. If I come off and click in the canvas out here, that they call it, then it'll hide again. So if I want to see it, bring it over, give it a second. Now, if I want to keep these tabs where they are, I lock them. And whenever I'm trying to move the tabs, I lock them. And you can see I'm just moving between the tabs. I think that's already known. Now, if I want to take these tabs out of their normal locations over here for some reason, and I want to put them out in the middle of the screen, I can do that also. All I need to do is grab the tab, and I'm bringing it out here in the middle of nowhere, and you can see that that tab is now locked in place over here because it was locked when I started. If I want to bring it back, all the tabs are there. If I want to bring it back, take it over to the left side, let it lock in, and now they're back on the left side. If I want to take just the design tab out, I grab the tab, bring it out, and I can place that anywhere on the canvas I want. If I unlock it, it stays where I wanted it. If I pin it, it stays where I want it. Now, I can do that with any one of these tabs. So if I want to bring it out here, I can have my clip art right there. Look at my local file. I can operate my clip art tab, and if I want it longer, I can pull it longer. And if I need to scroll through it, I can scroll through it. So I can do anything I want with these tabs relative to placing them out in this area by dragging them. So if I want to return that tab back to its location over on the left, what I need to do is grab the tab, place it on top of the other tab, and now you can see it's back up there on top. And actually you have two separate tab locations. If I want them to be rejoined again, then I grab this tab and I put it up underneath. And now I have both tabs together again. As you probably noticed, these tabs can be pretty persnickety. And what I've found is I just have to kind of play around with them off and on to get a feel for how they're going to lock in on my computer. And I have a Windows computer and I have a Mac computer. This is a Mac computer I'm using right now running in Parallels. And they both operate slightly different. And in this case, my Mac computer is actually running a little better than my Windows computer. Usually it's the other way around. If I want to take this clip art tab and put it back, I would do the same thing I just did with the design. Let's see if I can do it a little smoother. Not really. It took me 2 moves this time also, like it did before. I put it over. In this case, it went to the right and then the back. But as you can see, they're all back together now. The message here is that you can move them, play with them, get used to how your computer works, don't get frustrated, but it isn't always the smoothest process when you start trying to put them back together and rearrange them. It's fairly smooth just moving them within the level like we did before. But once you start pulling them out like this and trying to get them all back in, it's not always as smooth and as easy as it seems like it should be. So with that, I hope you learned a couple things about rearranging tabs and are feeling a little more confident in what you can do with the tabs. I would like to show you one more thing with these tabs, because I know that some people like to take the tabs and place them on the bottom instead of on the side. So that can be done by easily going up to your edit, go to options, go down here to tab location, and instead of selecting left, select bottom and watch for it. Watch down in the left corner, hit OK, and you can see the tabs are now down in the left corner. If I want to switch them back, I come to Edit, Options, and I like mine on the left, so I'm going to put them back to the left and put them to the left. And notice this is a separate selection from the Save Tab layout. So if you move these to the bottom versus the left, and you haven't got Save Tab layout on up here, they will still go to wherever you said they're supposed to go with this menu. Slightly different than the Save Tab layout. That's a wrap for this video. I've covered all of the topics that the subscriber suggested I cover, plus a few more. Remember, his request was that people need to know how to put all of their toolpaths on the left side if that's what they want to do, because he knows he likes to do it. I also know Jay Bates likes to do that. And so I demonstrated how you can move the toolpaths to the left side or the right side, whichever side you want to move them. Because basically I demonstrated how you can move the task anywhere you want. I also demonstrated how you can move the tasks on the left side of the screen back and forth, make them independent, and place the tabs on the bottom side of the screen if that's what you'd like to do. Pretty much you can move the tabs wherever you want and do whatever you want with them. The key is that if you move them to a location that you really like and you want to keep them there, that you need to go to the Edit menu, go to the Option selection, and then pick Save Tab Layout from the drop-down buttons. If you don't want them saved, if you want them to return to the factory defaults, then what you need to do is on Save Tab Layout, put No. If you get into a tough situation where you've been moving the tabs around and you're having a hard time moving them back to where you want them, You can start all over by simply going back to that edit menu option, save tab layout, hit no, then exit the project, and then re-enter the project. Key is recognize that moving the tabs around is a persnickety, that's my term, process, meaning that it takes some practice and some gentle hands as you move things around. If you learn something about tabs that you find helpful, please go ahead and give me that thumbs up sign. Give me a like, which is a thumbs up. Leave a comment because it all helps. Share the video with others. All of that helps get my videos in front of a bigger population. And if you want to be aware of future videos I release, both on Lightburn, vCarve, Aspire, or Fusion 360, or just regular woodworking projects, please go ahead and subscribe and hit the all bell, and that will let you know when I release my next video. I do know that I originally said I was going to release a laser or Lightburn video this week, and my plan is to still do that. I hope you're finding time to get out in the shop and enjoy. I love to learn new things. I love to share those things with others, and then I love to have us each inspire each other to go have fun. With that, until we meet in this medium again, hope you're having a great day.